This past week, when the King was being interviewed after the Los Angeles Lakers win over Portland Trail Blazers, he wasn't only answering questions. Interestingly, he posed one of his own to the media. LeBron James actually got a bit emotional there and asked why he had received no questions regarding one old Jerry Jones photo that surfaced from 1957. Stay tuned as we give you all the updates on this matter and much more. First up, here's what's going on. The King, LeBron James, might have managed a 128-109 victory over Portland Trail Blazers in a showdown last Wednesday on the 30th of November, but his victory was the last thing he wanted to talk about. In fact, he turned the tables and asked the reporters a question regarding a pretty racist photo that has emerged. We'll get into the controversy regarding this photo later, but for the sake of context, it showed Jerry Jones, the renowned owner of the Dallas Cowboys, at the age of 14, looking like he was trying to stop some black students from entering their school in an attempt towards desegregation. Now, this is, of course, a very sensitive subject for James, so it's no surprise that when he didn't see anyone highlighting this concern, the King took it upon himself to make sure that it wasn't ignored. Following up, here's what LeBron had to say. Just before the interview was about to end, James started, saying that he had one question for everyone before they left, which was something he'd been thinking about on his way to the interview. James questioned why reporters were yet to ask him about the Jerry Jones photo posted by the Washington Post. He compared this incident to what a fellow player and teammate Kyrie Irving had gone through a little while ago. Irving was accused of promoting an anti-Semitic documentary on his social media accounts and was grilled regarding it till his suspension was assured. James recalled this incident and said that everyone was quick to ask questions about that. Now, what did James have to say regarding Irving's situation? As mentioned earlier, Irving posted a link to a documentary on his social media account that caused quite a bit of uproar, especially in the NBA community. Even the NBA commissioner, Adam Silver, issued a statement regarding it and said that he was going to have a one-on-one discussion with the player. LeBron was also asked about this incident, and ironically, a media report asked him why players weren't commenting as much about Irving's post. To this, James said that he didn't condone any hate of any kind, whether it was Jewish people, the black community, or Asians. He went on to say that it was unfortunate that things went down like this, and concluded by acknowledging the fact that while Irving had apologized, he'd still hurt the sentiments of a big community. Now, this might feel a bit irrelevant to the matter at hand, but if you look a little closer, then it exposes the double standards, along with the deep-rooted racism that is still present in American society, especially in different institutions. In fact, this might just be slightly more problematic than Irving's case, since Jones is actually someone who's in a position of power, so his racially motivated decisions might actually end up affecting a lot of people's lives. Now, here's more on what LeBron has to say regarding the photograph. Despite the fact that the viral photo was around 65 years old, this still happens to be a pretty huge issue, so it was important that someone brings it into the spotlight and gets a conversation going. While Jones did offer an explanation for his presence, saying that he was only there because he was curious, this wasn't enough for the Lakers champ. After mentioning the Irving situation, James said that the same energy should be kept when talking about black people and all the things that they'd gone through. He emphasized the importance of the movement, which was shown in the Jerry Jones photo, saying that it was an important time in the history of black people. LeBron continued his remarks by saying that he felt as though if a black athlete made any mistake, then it's highlighted on every single platform, and everyone gets asked about it. But with the entire Jones incident, the situation was sort of swept under the rug, where people offered explanations on the man's behalf, saying that it was very old and that everyone made mistakes. In the end, just before heading out, he said that he was disappointed, having received no questions about it. Following up, Jones sent a response James' way. Jones made his regularly scheduled appearance on Friday, the 2nd of December, and this time he had something to say to LeBron James. We're sure that many people had their ears glued to the radio as Jones spoke on 105.3 The Fan. He began by saying that there was no one in the NBA that he respected more than the King, and that he thought very highly of him when it came to the way he'd managed to get the most out of every opportunity. He then went on to say that James's support of the Cowboys made him very proud back in the day, and that he'd even offered him a contract to play tight end. And well, apparently, what James said about him didn't change any of this. Okay, hold on, this is getting a bit confusing. Jones added that he did hear what James had to say about the viral photo, but that's all. Instead of apologizing, He went on a mini rant over how LeBron has utilized the platform and enhanced basketball. Jones ended his remarks with a "he's made a lot of people a lot of money. I hope I have too." Okay, this response officially makes no sense. We've heard it over and over again and still can't figure out what the man is trying to say. Honestly, he could have made everything a whole lot easier for everyone by just saying that he was sorry. Next, why did LeBron stop supporting the Cowboys? As Jones mentioned earlier, the King was actually a pretty big Cowboys fan, but he had to sit out on them since the organization wasn't at all supportive of the players' decision to kneel during the national anthem as a sign of peaceful protest against police brutality. Apparently, the Cowboys were forbidden from doing that, and Jones even reportedly said that he wasn't going to tolerate any player from his team disrespecting the flag. All of this, according to James, wasn't appropriate at all, and we completely agree. That's all we have on LeBron James's response to the entire controversy. Now let's take a deeper look at the controversy. This 65-year-old photograph, which was recently published by the Washington Post, is putting the Dallas Cowboys owner under a lot of fire. And well, we can't say that he doesn't deserve it. The man's actions have been very iffy over the past years, and well, this one just fits with them perfectly. This picture was taken outside the Little Rock High School in Arkansas in 1957, and it shows Jones as a part of a group that seems to be stopping 6 black students from entering the school. This protest was held against desegregation of the school, and of course that never came easily. Moving on, here's what Jones had to say about the photo. He insisted that he was only present in the crowd as a curious onlooker, and that he had no clue that something monumental was happening. He further clarified that he wasn't a participant in any discriminatory acts that took place against the black students. The photograph clearly shows a young Jones trying to get a better view of what was happening, despite the fact that his coach had warned him from showing up there. In the end, he mentioned that he was glad that society had come a long way from that, and he hoped to do everything in his power to keep things like segregation from happening again. Lastly, here's more on Jones's previous racist actions. So the entire ban on kneeling was a major red flag, but that ranks pretty low on Jones's list of controversies. One of the major problems with Jones and his actions is the fact that he's yet to hire a black coach. The 80-year-old man has definitely brought along a lot of reforms when it comes to the NFL, but he's still stuck in the 1900s when it comes to racial equality. He's owned the team for over 33 years, in which he's seen 8 head coaches come and go. And get this, all of them happen to be white. With a net worth of more than $11 billion, and as the owner and general manager of the team, Jones is in a position of extreme power and influence, something that people just can't afford to be polluted with his personal biases, since it will end up having devastating effects. Jones has time and time again said that he wants to be the first in line. Then maybe he could start by providing opportunities to black individuals and paving a smoother way for them. Honestly, that would go further than any apology. That's a wrap for this video, folks. What do you make of the Jerry Jones controversy? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more awesome videos like this. See you in the next one with the latest updates.